Hello everyone, I am Jayesh Patil from final year B.Pharm studying in Shivajirao at Jondhle College of Pharmacy, Asangaon, along with my coordinators Purva, Patil and Deepak Rathod. Today we are discuss about topic alkaloids with the guidance of Dr. Manisha Vite. Let's see the introduction of alkaloid. Word alkaloid means alkaline, originally term used to describe any nitrogen containing base. First, an amine in modern terms. Second, a class of compound which typically contain nitrogen and have complex ring structure. Third, most alkaloids have very bitter in taste. Fourth, metabolic product derived from amino acids. Fifth, 10,000 different alkaloids discovered in species from over 300 plant families. Occur naturally in seed-bearing plants and are found in berries, bark, fruit, roots and leaves. Found as a secondary metabolites in plants, in animals and in fungi. Many are poisonous, example strychnine or quinine, used in medicine as analgesic or anesthetic, particularly morphine and codeine. Definition of alkaloid. Alkaloids are generally defined as physiologically active basic compounds of plant origin in which contain at least one nitrogen atom form a part of cyclic ring. Landberg defined alkaloids as naturally occurring plant compounds having a basic character and containing at least one nitrogen in a heterocyclic ring. Alkaloids, complex derivatives of ammonia which have replaced hydrogen atom on radicals, tertiary or secondary amines, or derivatives of four substituted ammonium bases. The structure of morphine and colchicine are shown on the screen. Let's we see the physical properties of alkaloids. First, conditions. Most alkaloids are crystalline solid. Few alkaloids are amorphous solid, example emethine. Some are liquid that are either volatile, example nicotine and quinine, or non-volatile, example pilocarpine and hyoscine. Then second one is color. The majority of alkaloids are colorless, but some are colored, example colchicine and berberine are yellow. Canadine is orange. The salt of sanguinine are copper red. Third one is solubility. Both alkaloidal bases and their salts are soluble in alcohol. Generally, the bases are soluble in organic solvent and insoluble in water. Exceptions: bases soluble in water, caffeine, ephedrine, codeine, colchicine, pilocarpine, and quaternary ammonium bases. Bases insoluble or sparingly soluble in organic solvent are morphine in ether, theobromine, and theophylline in benzene. Salts are usually soluble in water and insoluble or sparingly soluble in organic solvents. Chemical properties of alkaloids. First, most alkaloids are basic in reaction due to lone pair of electron on nitrogen. Second, if adjacent functional group is electron releasing basicity of alkaloids is enhanced. Third, when adjacent functional group is electron withdrawing like amide group that reduce the availability of lone pair. Fourth, due to basic character sensitive to decomposition during storage. Fifth, salt formation with an inorganic acid prevent their decomposition. Sixth, alkaloids may contain one or more number of nitrogen and it may exist in different form as follows. Primary are NH2, example mecycline. Secondary are 2NH2, example ephedrine. Tertiary are 3NH, example atropine. Quaternary are 4N plus X, example tuberculin. Classification of alkaloids. Alkaloids are classified into three classes: true alkaloids, protoalkaloids, and pseudoalkaloids. True alkaloid contain nitrogen in the heterocycle and originate from amino acids, example atropine. In true alkaloids, I-ornithine, pyrrolidine, tropane, pyrrolizidine. Then second, I-lysine, piperidine, quinolizidine, indolizidine. Third one is I-tyrosine, phenyl ethylamino, benzyl tetrahydro, isoquinoline. Fourth one is ethanolaminic acid, vinazolene, quinoline. Fifth, I-tryptophan, indole. Sixth, I-histidine, imidazole. Seventh, I-arginine, marine. Eighth, nicotinic acid, pyridine. Protoalkaloids which contain nitrogen but not the nitrogen heterocycle and also originate from amino acids, example ephedrine. First, I-tyrosine, phenethylamino. Second, I-ornithine, pyrrolizidine. Third, I-tryptophan, terpenoid, indole. Pseudoalkaloids have heterocyclic ring with nitrogen not derived from amino acids, example caffeine. In this, first acetate piperidine sesquiterpene, second pyruvic acid ephedra, third ferulic acid aromatic, fourth geraniol terpenoid, fifth saponins steroids, sixth adenine and guanine purine alkaloid. Classification based on chemical structures. Chemically, they are classified in two classes: atypical alkaloids and typical alkaloids. The structure of atypical alkaloid shows on the screen, as well as the structure of typical alkaloids are also shown on the screen. Pictures of plants or crops and their structures are shown on the screen. Extraction of alkaloid. The extraction of alkaloids is based on their basic character and solubility profiles. Several methods but common procedures are largely based on the basic structure of most alkaloids. Second, the subsequent ability to form salt with acids. Third, the ease by which the free bases can be liberated from their salts by alkalization. Fourth, the relative solubility of the alkaloids and their salts in water and various organic solvents. 1,2-dichloroethane, chloroform, diethyl ether or benzene. The conventional process involved in the alkaloids separation and isolation may be divided as follows: preparation of the sample, liberation of the free alkaloidal base by the treating the dry material with suitable alkali, extraction of the alkaloidal base with an organic solvent, purification of alkaloidal extract, fraction of crude alkaloids. The extraction of alkaloidal base may be accomplished by three different types of solvents that are discussed below, namely: A. Extraction with water miscible solvent, B. Extraction with water immiscible solvent, C. Extraction with water. In general, the alkaloids may be extracted by any of the following three well defined and widely accepted processes, namely: A. SOXHLET extraction process, B. STASS OTTO process, and C. KIPPENBERGER'S process. Extraction of alkaloid. Powder drug. Alkaloid is free as weak basis salt. The powder drug is extracted in two types: with acid, exhaust with organic solvent, into aqueous layer, organic layer pigment. Aqueous layer basically liberated free bases and treat with organic solvent, then crude alkaloid mixture is formed, as well as organic layer pigment. With base, liberated alkaloid free base from their acid. Exhaust with organic solvent, total extract. Two types are formed: residue organic layer, pigment chloroform soluble alkaloid form organic solution of alkaloid base. Then remove the solvent, crude alkaloid mixture is formed. As well as aqueous layer alkaloidal salt make alkaline and extract alkaloid. Then form residue aqueous fraction after crude alkaloids mixture is formed. Methods: STASS OTTO process. Powder crude material moistened with water, treated with lime, that is liberated alkaloidal free bases from their acid salts. Further extraction with organic solvent, chloroform or ether and concentrate. Then re-extracted with aqueous acidic solution in separating funnel. After aqueous acidic extract, then basified with ammonia or aqueous KOH. Then free base liberated are then again extracted with organic solvent. Then extract concentrated dried in form of alkaloids. Third, SOXHLET process. Powder crude drug is first defatted with petroleum ether, residue extracted with methanol, alkaloid isolate from cell material, alcohol extract is concentrated dissolved in water acidified to pH 2. Steam distillation is carried to remove trace of methanol, impurities and remove and extract is filtered. Resultant solution is basified. Organic layer is obtained is evaporated to yield crude alkaloid. Method: Kippenberger's process. Powdered and sieve plant substance mix in, further heated to 50 degrees Celsius, cooled to ambient temperature and finally filtered. The resulting filtrate is thoroughly shaken with petroleum ether. The fat-free crude plant extract is subcutaneously acidified and shaken with chloroform. Successively remove the bulk of the alkaloid subjected to solvent extraction using a mixture of alcohol and chloroform. Next, drugs are explained by Purva.
First, alkaloidal amines. Example of alkaloidal amines is colchicum. It is derived from dihydroxyphenylalanine and dopamine. Synonyms is meadow-saffron seeds, autumn crocus. Biological source is it is a dried ripe seeds of colchicum luteum baker and colchicum autumnal lean. Family is Liliaceae. Geographical source is various parts of Europe like England, Holland, Czechoslovakia, Poland and Yugoslavia. It is also cultivated in India. Chemical constituents. It contains 0.2 to 1% of amino alkaloids. Main chemical constituent is colchicine. Percentage of colchicine in seeds up to 0.8% and in combs up to 0.6%. Both contain tropolene or cycloheptarian all one ring structure. It is amorphous yellow-white alkaloid. Gives a strong yellow coloration with strong mineral acids. Dissolves radially in water, alcohol and chloroform, but only slightly in ether or petroleum spirit. Chemical test. 70% sulfuric acid gives yellow color and alcoholic solution plus FeCl3 gives red color. Uses: it is anti-tumor activity, relieve gout, use with caution, professional supervision and rheumatism. Also used in biological experiments to produce polyploidy. Hence, it is used in horticulture and cultivation of medicinal plants. Second, tropin. Example is coca. Biological source is dried leaves of Bolivia erythroxylon coca, Peruvian E. truxylens E. Family is Erythroxylaceae. Geographical source is South America, Peru, Bolivia, nowadays cultivated in India and Sri Lanka. Chemical constituents, it's contain 0.7 to 1.5% total alkaloid. Lesser alkaloids, higher cocaine, cinnamyl cocaine, alpha-troxylin, tropocane, benzoyl tropine, dihydroxytropine, benzoyl cognine. Java coca has a higher alkaloid and lesser cocaine. Commercial price is determined by ecognin content because it is synthetically converted to cocaine. Chemical test: cinnamyl cocaine plus for cinnamyl cocaine plus methyl alcohol plus cinnamic acid. For cocaine, ecognin plus methyl alcohol plus benzoic acid. For alpha troxylin, ecognin plus methyl alcohol plus alpha troxyl. This is the structures of chemical constituents. Chemical test: cocaine powder plus H2SO4 heated water, characteristic smell of methyl benzoate. Uses: it is local anesthetic, stimulant, restorative in convulsion. First local anesthetic from which various other synthetic substitute with similar activity have been prepared. Owing to hallucinogenic and addictive effects of cocaine, drug of abuse, and limited to ophthalmic and ENT surgery. Third is indole alkaloids. Example is Rauwolfia. Synonyms: Rauwolfia root, Serpentina root, Chhota Chand, Sarpagandha. Biological sources: it is a dried roots of Rauwolfia, serpentine, benth, excurse. Family is Apocynaceae. Chemical constituents: it contains not less than 0.15% of reserpine and azmalcin. Geographical sources: Asia, America, Africa. Commercially cultivated in India, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, UP, TN, West Bengal, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Morphology: the color of bark is greyish yellow and color of wood is pale yellow. Odor less and bitter in taste. Size 10 to 18 cm long and 1 to 3 cm in diameter. Shape is subcylindrical, slightly tapering and tortuous. This is a TS of Rauwolfia serpentina. Chemical test: with concentrated HNO3 gives red coloration of medullary rays. For reserpine, with vanillin in acetic acid gives violet red color. Powder Rauwolfia plus H2SO4 plus para-dimethylamino-benzaldehyde gives violet red color. Uses: reserpine use for lowers BP. Neuropsychiatric disorder. Resicinamide, it is an antihypertensive but higher dose in depression. D-reserpine, it is a antihypertensive and tranquilizer. Azmalcin, it is used for treatment of circulatory diseases, relief of obstruction of normal cerebral blood flow. Pyrosingopine. Fourth is steroidal. Example is Kurji. Synonyms: Holariana. Biological sources: it is dried stem bark of Holariana T. dysenterica. Family is Apocynaceae. Chemical constituents: it should be contain not less than 2% of total alkaloid. Geographical source: throughout India. Collection: plants which are 8 to 10 years old are selected. LSTS are made on the trunks from July to September. After detachment, the bark is separated from the wood and dried. The recurved pieces of the bark are marketed. Morphology: color buff to pale brown on outer surface, slightly brown in inner surface. For outer surface, longitudinally wrinkled and bears horizontal lenticels. Pieces are recurved with varying size and thickness. The drug shows a short and granular fracture. Odor is odorless and bitter and acrid in taste. Chemical constituents. It contains total 25 alkaloids. C21 group steroidal alkaloids. Conicin, it is gurgicin, norconicin, isoconicin, dioxyconicin, holaremine, holariadine. Uses, it is anti-protozoal and used to treat embryonic dysentery. Conicin is highly active against Entamoeba histolytica. Formulation is Shivajirao. Second example of steroidal alkaloids is Vasaka. Synonym is Adhathoda, Adusa, Malabar nut. Biological sources, it is a dried as well as fresh leaves of the plant Adhathoda vasica. Family is Acanthacea. It should contain not less than 0.6% of hyacinth of dried basis. Geographical sources, sub-Himalaya track up to an altitude of 1000 meter, Konkan region, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Malaya. Propagation, step cutting and seed germination, and required soil is loamy soil. Morphology, it contains stem, leaf, fruits, seeds. Leaves are 10 to 30 cm high, in width 4 to 10 cm. Shape is petiolate and exstipulate lanceolate. Margin is crenate with acuminate apex. 8 to 10 pairs of lateral veins. Taste is bitter and odor is characteristic. Microscopy. Upper epidermis, palisade, lower palisade, cystolith, spongy parenchyma, vascular bundle, phloem, xylem, collenchyma, glandular and covering trichome. This is a microscopy of Vasaka. Constituents, quinazoline alkaloids, vasicin up to 2 to 2.5%, vasicinone 6-hydroxyvasicin. Vasicin is oxidized to ketonic derivative. Vasicinone are bronchodilator. Volatile oil, betaine, vasicin, adhatoric acid. This is the structure of vasicin and vasicinone. Uses, it is used as an expectorant and also a bronchodilator. Large dose, it is irritant and cause vomiting, diarrhea. Vasicin oxytocin, cause oxytocin, abortifacient due to release of prostaglandins. Bromhexine SCl, synthetic derivative of vasicin, which changes the structure of bronchial asthma and reduces viscosity of sputum. Does not cause drowsiness and dependence. Next drugs are explained by Deepak.
So next drug is benzyl isoquinoline, opium. Synonym, raw opium. Source, opium. Raw opium is the dried latex obtained by incision from the unripe capsule of Papaver somniferum family, Papaveraceae. It is dried partially by spontaneous evaporation and partially by artificial heat. General source, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkey, Russia, China and Iran. Next, chemical constituent. More than 40 alkaloids usually combine with specific acid, meconic acid, or with other acid. Example, sulfuric acid, acetic acid. Derived from phenylamine and tyrosine and are placed under benzyl isoquinoline and the phenethrin types. Opium alkaloid can be subclassified into three main groups with different basic nuclei. Phenethrin alkaloid, example, morphine and codeine. Benzyl isoquinoline alkaloid, example, papaverine and noscapine, narcotin. Phenylethylamine alkaloid, example, narcine. These are the chemical structure of morphine, alicylic alcohol,
codeine, and papaverine. Chemical test. First, test for meconic acid. Opium is dissolved in water. Filter it to the filtrate. Add FeCl3, which persists even after addition of HCl. Second test for morphine. Morphine powder when sprinkled on HNO3, codeine won't give. Third, test for morphine. Morphine solution plus potassium ferricyanide plus FeCl3 give, codeine won't. Fourth, test for papaverine. Papaverine solution in HCl with potassium ferricyanide solution. Next, use. Opium, sedative hypnotic class. Action is due to the morphine. Potent analgesic due to the central narcotic effect. Causes addiction, severe pain, or when patient does not show response to other narcotic. Sedates cerebrum and medulla. Emetic, stimulates cough relax center. Causes nausea and vomiting. Respiratory depression and constipation, relieves local irritation in bronchial tract. Anti tissue smooth muscle relaxant and bronchial, intestinal, and blood vessel cough relax depressant. Heroin, diacetylmorphine, more narcotic analgesic property than morphine. Apomorphine, emetic and in poison. Hydromorphine, narcotic analgesic, habit forming tendency is less. Synthetic morphine compounds are called opioids, non habit morphine forming. Morphine sulfates, codeine sulfates, phosphate, narcotin or noscapine, papaverine hydrochloride. Next drug is isoquinoline, ipecac. Brief, derived from the condensation of dopamine with cycloganin to give two series of compounds. Synonym is ipecac. Source, dried root of rhizomes of Syphilis ipecacuna, C. acuminata, family Rubiaceae. Specification, should contain NLT 0.2% alkaloid in that at least 50% amethine. General source, Brazil, India, Myanmar and Malaysia. These are the photo of ipecac. The chemical constituent. Isoquinoline alkaloid is divided in two parts, phenolic and non-phenolic. Phenolic contain cephaeline and psychotrine, and non-phenolic contain emetine o methyl psychotrine. Alkaloid, Rio up to 2%, while Panama about 2.2%. Emetine, cephaeline, psychotrine, o methyl psychotrine, and emetamine. Proportion of emetine, cephaeline 4:1 Rio, 1:1 Panama. Cephaeline, emetine by methylation of phenolic C6OH group. This is the chemical structure of cephaeline and emetine. Chemical test. Powder drug plus HCl plus water, shake and filtrate. Potassium chlorate, presence of yellow color gradually changes to red after standing due to emetine. Emetine plus fluoride reagent H2SO4 plus sodium molybdate give bright green color. Use, expectorant in small doses, emetic in high doses. Cephaeline is more emetic and less expectorant than emetine. Emetine HCl, antiprotozoal and antitumor. Next drug is quinoline, cinchona. Synonym, G. Soot bark, Peruvian bark. Biological source, it is the dried bark of the cultivated trees of Cinchona calisaya, family Rubiaceae. General source and variety. C. calisaya is in India and Indonesia. C. secirubra, India, Africa and Belgium. C. ledgeriana. C. officinalis in India. C. macrantha in India. C. robusta. And next is chemical constituents. Quinoline alkaloid, about 25 types of alkaloid. Chief are quinine, quinidine, cinchonine and cinchonidine. Alkaloid are less important. Quinicine, cinchosine, hydroquinone, hydrocinchonidine and homocinchonidine. Quinine and quinidine are the stereoisomer. Quinine and quinidine form many salts, but medically their sulfates are more significant. Cinchonine and cinchonidine are isomer. Quinic and cinchotanic acid other compound. Glycoside such as quinovine. These are the structure of quinine, quinidine, cinchonine, and cinchonidine. Chemical test. Powder cinchona is slightly moistened with glacial acetic acid and heated in an ignition tube. Purple vapor are produced at the upper part of the tube. Phthaloquinone test. Powder drug gives emerald green color with bromine water and dilute ammonia solution. Quinidine solution give a white PPT with silver nitrate solution, which is soluble in nitric acid. Uses. Quinine, antimalarial, skeletal muscle relaxant, night muscle spasm, and the absorptifacient. Quinidine, indicated for treatment of arrhythmia and cardiac depressant and atrial fibrillation. Cinchonine has a mild antimalarial activity. Cinchona extract and tincture, bitter, stomachic, and antipyretic. Next drug is pyridine and piperidine. Pepper. Source is Maricha consists of the unripe fruit of Piper nigrum. Family is Paperaceae. General source are Malacca, Aragoplegola, South India, South America, and the West Indies. Large quantities are obtained from Indonesia, Sarawak, and Brazil. Chemical constitution propagated from cutting a Sarawak of runners in India. Vegetative propagation shoot culture technique designed for the mass culture. Description. Shape globular or oblong. Size 4 to 6 mm diameter. Surface the outer cover is blackish brown with raised reticulated wrinkles. One seeded seeds with white and hollow. Odor aromatic. Taste strong and pungent. Constituent 1 to 2.5% of volatile oil, 5 to 9% of crystalline alkaloid piperine and piperidine. Resin volatile oil contain beta caryophyllene, limonene, sabenine, beta-pinene, A-pinene, myrcene, p-cymimine. Oxygenated constituent. Uses stimulant, flavoring agent, anti-atherosclerosis, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial properties that help to reduce acne, antioxidant effect, improve digestive system, anti-cancer. Piperine increase the absorption of nutrient, prevent colon cancer. Piperine can lower blood pressure. In ancient Chinese medicine, cold and cough. Next drug is purine, tea. Synonym is thea. Prepared leaves and leaf buds of Thea sinensis. Family Theaceae. General source India, Sri Lanka, China, Indonesia, and Japan. Morphology. Small shrub, height 1 to 1.5 m. Much branched and beery grey bark. Leaves dark green, lanceolate and elliptical, blunt at apex. Base tapering. Flower solitary and in groups. Odor characteristic and bitter in taste and in flowery. Preparation of green tea. Freshly collected leaves exposed to air until moisture is removed, roasted and stirred continuously until leaves become moist and flaccid. Passed to rolling table and rolled into ball and subjected to pressure which removes moisture. Leaves are shaken out to the copper pans and roasted again till the leaves assume the dull green color. Leaves are winnowed, screened, and graded into various varieties. Chemical constituents are caffeine, theobromine, and theophylline. Color is due to the gallotannin. Odor is because of the volatile oil. It's having a very good odor and usage in CNS, stimulant, and beverages and diuretic. Imidazole. Imidazole. Pilocarpus. Synonym Joborandi. Sources leaves of closely related plants of the genus Pilocarpus sp. Family Rutaceae. Genus P. jaborandi. P. pinnatifolius. P. microphyllus. P. microphyllus Maraham joborandi is the main source of the drug. General source South America, Brazil, Venezuela, Caribbean island, and Central America. Constituent imidazole alkaloid, pilocarpine, isopilocarpine, pilocarpidine, pilosine, pseudopilocarpine, and isopilocin. Taste pilocarpine solution plus dilute H2SO4 plus H2O2 plus benzene plus potassium chromate on shaking organic layer like bluish violet color, aqueous layer yellow color. Use in the form of pilocarpine hydrochloride, psychological antagonist of atropine, acts directly on ANS by postganglionic cholinergic nerve. Contraction of pupil of the eye, increased sweating and salivation. Use in ophthalmology and glaucoma. Reference for use and honorable mention to Dr. Shivajirao S. Jondhle, the President, the Secretary Dr. Geeta Khare, and a principal of our college Dr. Nitin C. Moire, who encourage and give guidance for efficient use of social media to spread knowledge by making such informative video. Thank you. Hope you like this video. Thank you.